Hi everyone, welcome back to Summer Lane Zoo. My name is Tyler and today we are back working in the tropical section of the zoo on the 5th habitat for this series. Today we're building a really cool habitat for the Komodo dragon, the iconic Komodo dragon. And I am really pleased with how this turned out. This habitat was completely different from the other habitats that I've built for this zoo and for most of the other habitats in general. I decided to go and build this time a completely indoor habitat. And the reason why I did this was I've seen a few Komodo dragon enclosures at zoos before and they inspired me. One in particular, one of my local zoos, Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle, Washington, they have Komodo dragons and they keep them in a really cool part of their zoo. It's completely indoors. Which is great if you need a break from the rain, and it's a cool enclosure for their Komodo dragons. They actually have two separate enclosures, and they keep their Komodo dragons separated. And I'm not sure if they're doing that because they have male and female, or if it's because they're aggressive sometimes to each other. I don't know too many facts about these. I will share a few facts later on in the video about the Komodo dragon, but I'm still learning about them, and I'm still learning more about how they're kept at the Woodland Park Zoo. But I was inspired by that zoo and that facility, so that's what led me to create today's build. I decided to keep it simple and start with a pretty simple shape building, and I started with outlining the habitat barriers and then dropped in some of the walls that I've used before, the concrete walls and the stained wooden walls that you can change the flexi-color ones. And so that's how I started the habitat, and then split pretty much right down the middle, so that way both the two Komodo dragons being added to this zoo would have similar size and space. I went with one male on one side and one female on the other, and depending on how I feel in the future, I may take down that middle wall and just combine the habitats and hope for some baby Komodo dragons. But for right now, I wanted to just stay inspired from Woodland Park Zoo, so that's what I chose to do. I also added in, I don't know if you've noticed, but two exhibit boxes kind of in the center there. I went with the boa constrictor in one and then the red-eyed tree frog in the other. And this isn't intended to be like a reptile house or anything, even though I know that red-eyed tree frogs are amphibians, but just wanted to kind of add a little tropical building to break up the habitat style in this section of the zoo, because it's going to be really large. This section, the tropical section, I intend it to take up about 50% of the zoo, if not more. And so it's going to have a lot of repetition in the end. So I thought a few buildings like this might make it a little more unique and have it stand out. So in the end, this building hopefully will just be kind of like a modern style building that really stands out amongst all the bamboo and palm trees and dense foliage around it. So when I'm doing a tour of the tropical section and then the tour of the zoo at the end, when this zoo is complete, hopefully this building and a few others in the future really stand out and add some just a different visual appeal so that it's not just all green and lush. So I did want to share a few facts about the Komodo dragon because I think they're really interesting and not very well known. There's a lot of people that have never seen these just because they're not common in zoos, and they're also relatively rare. They're classified as vulnerable. They are found in Indonesia on 5 islands, and that's the only place in the world that they're found. They're also the world's largest lizard, and they are, their most can be around 10 feet long, which is just insane, and also around 150 pounds. So really, if you think about it, considering this is a lizard, it's just such a massive animal. And last thing is they are venomous. So that's one of the ways that they hunt, is they have a nasty bite, and that will slowly kill their prey. You would not want to get bit by one of these. I will say I am pretty pleased with how this section of the zoo is coming along. The tropical section of any zoo is one that I always look forward to building for, just because it's an excuse to add in lots of plants and make things green and pretty. So things are coming along nicely, and I'm excited for the future of the zoo. I have been building quite a bit in this zoo, and I'm not quite caught up on the videos, but I did work and start on a lemur habitat. That's going to be the next video that I release. Decided to go with the red ruffed lemur and the black and white lemur. So they're going to be sharing a habitat, and they have a build that should be coming out within a week or so. After that, I'm going to be creating a habitat for the wild water buffalo, and that is an animal I have not built for at all yet. I was really surprised when they were added in the wetlands pack. But really cool animal, great model, they look fantastic, but I haven't built for them, so I'm excited to do that. So that's going to follow the lemurs. And then after that, I haven't made up my mind, and maybe you all can help me out. I am considering doing a orangutan habitat or a Siamang habitat, or maybe a combination. I don't know if I should do both of them or just one of them, but I'm really torn on that. So those are the next three, and that is a few builds that I'm really looking forward to working on. And in general, the tropical section I think will be the largest part of this zoo. I'm hoping to add around 15 species to this section, and eventually we'll get around to adding Bengal tigers and elephants, and just keep expanding into the zoo. Last thing I wanted to mention was that if you are watching and you have any animal suggestions, whether it's for the tropical section or another section, I am planning to do a Oceania section, heavily inspired from the most recent pack, of course, but also a safari section, which I love safari animals. Those are my absolute favorites. So of course I'll be adding some of those to this zoo. But if you have any suggestions or recommendations for animals to add, please let me know in the comments. And also consider subscribing to the channel, and that way you can see the new videos that come out. I also have an Instagram at @ThatZooTyler, and every time that I upload a video here, I also share on that page as well. So if you like these videos, consider subscribing and following me on Instagram. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I am excited for the next video. See you then. Thanks.